G'day there. Welcome to the Star Wars Radio Hour. My name is Hannah, and this is the podcast where we have Star Wars conversations with Star Wars creatives. Now, this is my pilot episode. So, as much as, yes, we will usually have guests on and be talking to them today, we're just going to have a quick chat, quick rundown, quick one-to-one, you and me, no one else in the room, about what this podcast is. Now, I'm assuming you are probably here and listening to this or watching this. I got to get used to that. There's two types of people. If you probably know a little bit about me. You probably know my channel. You probably have seen me before and follow my content a little bit. This is a new venture, and this has been something I've been working on for the past little while. We're premiering this on the 27th of January 2024, but this has been simmering in my mind for a few months now, this podcast conversation style that is kind of just like a passion project for me, honestly. This is born out of my own interest. A little bit of just, I don't know if it's insight, but I'll give a brief deep dive of how we got here. One of my favorite things in life is having conversations with people. I mean, that's a pretty standard thing. A lot of people like socializing and having friends and talking to people. But I genuinely really love learning people's experiences and hearing about people's thoughts and opinions about some sort of life experience that we could learn from, that I could learn from. That's just genuinely a part of my personality that is in day-to-day life. I've always been like that with family members, professionally, people that are older than me, more expert in something than me. I love to talk to them, listen to them, ask them every question under the sun about what they know about whatever it is. And that correlates to Star Wars. And being a content creator in the Star Wars sphere for a little while now, I have had that pleasure of talking to people that are more expert than me in a private setting and just like as two people talking about Star Wars. And those are always some of the best conversations I have with people. And I can think back to years ago conversations I've had with people that have just changed my perspective on things. Not talking just Star Wars in general, just, about a movie or a character or a concept, but just changed my opinion about life and how to go about work, life, relationships, everything. And that's what I think is such a fun thing with Star Wars, is that Star Wars is a vessel for us to learn many things and a vessel and a guide for us to navigate life, in my opinion. And I've done a few. I will admit I've already done a few interviews. They are in the books already, ready to come out for you guys. But with those interviews already, there's such an immediate theme with everyone. When we get into the deep discussions of, what Star Wars means for us and what it does for our lives. And it's really interesting that, and you'll find this too when you start hearing the episodes come out, there's such a through line with so many people of what Star Wars means for them and how it's changed their perspective. And that to me is such an invaluable conversation. And that's invaluable to me. And that's such a pleasure for me to get to share this project with you. So week by week, we'll be talking to other creatives that are prop makers, that are cosplayers, that are designers, that are illustrators. I'm trying to think of all the different types of people I've gotten on the show now, that are all walks of life, that have all different experiences, that have something to do with Star Wars, but we can hear from their life experience and their journey and processes, something that might impact us and something that might just, I don't know, it might strike a chord. It's always in those random conversations that you find something really that can be quite life-changing. That was a long ramble that I'm pretty sure I started like 50 thoughts in that. But that's my long ramble, brief but long ramble on basically how I got to starting this RaeDio hour. I have to shout out my fantastic co-hosts over at the Star Wars Underworld. Ben and Dom actually helped me with that name. They actually came up with that name as I was really stuck on trying to call this podcast, but I like the name. You gotta love the pun. Come on, RaeDio hour, Can't miss it. Can't miss it. It is, I feel like it just works so well. But this is going to be such a fantastic journey for us. And like I said just before, this is something that I'm personally just so passionate about. I'm so interested what people have to say about Star Wars and what we can learn from them. And I hope you find value in that as well. That is something that is so key to my personality with Star Wars. And that's something I just cannot wait to share. A little bit about my journey with starting with the race side as well. I think I'll just touch on before. This is only a brief little conversation that we're having here. Throwing a lot of information at you. The creation of the race side kind of glitched out there. I had to think of what I was talking about. The creation of the race side is something that came so naturally and something I don't know how I haven't done before. And it's still doing it today. I still don't know how I haven't been doing this for many more years before. The race side, if you didn't know, actually, I will mention at this point, let's pause here for a second. If you didn't know, most of you do, but if you didn't, and let me know if you were one of the few, the race side is actually my name, is literally my last name. Some people think I'm trying to be the character Ray, or there's some sort of, it's some sort of separate concept or idea. No, the race side is genuinely my last name. It's a play on the dark side, the light side. I am the race side. So, and it's just, I'm literally kind of race side. So that's just in case you didn't know, that's why it's called the race side and that's why we're here. But the creation of the race side, let's talk about that. That's where we're going with. Creation of the race side was something that was spawned out of, I dabbled in experience with podcasting and content before Anaheim Star Wars Celebration 2022. And that celebration was a massive turning point for me. It was a really big trip, and I'm sure I'm actually going to dedicate a whole other podcast to just recounting that experience for myself, because it was such an epic time and I learned so much about myself and Star Wars fans and meeting people. It was insane. But that's, well, you know, loosely, it was such a turning point for me to really go, this is so certainly where my passion lies and where all the convergence of all my interests lie. Star Wars is my favorite movie franchise. I know everything about Star Wars. Well, I can't make that claim, but I like to think I know a lot about Star Wars. I really love creative arts. I really love performance. I really love projects, and I like to work on things. I like to develop myself. I like to present things. All these things kind of converge into, why am I not creating a show from this? Why am I not creating a variety show from this? I have the ideas. I have some of the basic skills to start this. And from there, I came back home to Australia, and then was born the race side. Which was pretty much, July, I think it was July 10th. I don't actually know the exact date. I think it's July 10th, 2022, which seems so far away now. Oh my God. But that was where the race side was born. And from then, it has been such an incredible journey for me to create this evoluting, which is the verb of evolution, just cycle of interest, fun, passion of the race side. Doing the live shows every week has been such a pleasure to bring to you guys. And I hope, you know, again, assuming that you know a bit of my stuff and you've seen some of the live shows, those live shows, as much as they get really chaotic and things go wrong all the time, all the bloody time, it's so funny how often things go wrong with how much effort and time and everything, money and focus that I put into these live shows to bring you guys. It is so fun. And I don't say that to be like, oh, I work really hard. I say that because I'm like, I love doing this so much. And I am so thankful that I'm even barely here in the way that I am. I have such a loyal group of you that do follow all my content and have supported me from so long ago. And there's so many of you that have caught almost every one of my live streams, and I'm so thankful for you guys. It is, you hear things, all together, but I really feel that with this community, and there's been such actually a real important reason why I haven't actually had a co-host with my content so far, and I don't think I will so soon, because you guys are the co-host. You are the co-host, and that's not for only a group of people. And if you're listening to this and you're not too involved in the race side, or you just stumbled upon the channel, that's not for an exclusive other group. I'm saying you, as any audience or listener right now, is my co-host to the race side, to this Star Wars fan variety show that I've been creating with you guys. Because it is you who I'm bouncing against, you who I'm talking to, you who I'm asking the questions to, and it's you that is answering me. And I love that dynamic of the live shows, of the live discussions we get to have together, because we get to just my favorite part of being a Star Wars fan is just shooting the shit, like, honestly, and just talking about the craziest parts of Star Wars, the saddest parts of Star Wars, the most frustrating parts of Star Wars, all of it. I love talking about all the elements of Star Wars, and you guys get to be my co-host, and you have been for all the time we've done the race side so far, and we get to continue to do that as well. So that's a bit of an overview of these are just thoughts, a bit of a thesis behind the channel. Why is it so chaotic? Why is it so randomized? It's because it's a variety show. It's this creative passion project. I'm not trying to be the most swankiest news group or cover things perfectly. If anything, there's actually a lot of my skills that don't really line up to this job. I'm terrible at writing and grammar and language. I'm really, really bad with it. I failed at it in every way at school. So it is hilarious that my job is mainly to use language and words for a living. But I mean, speaking it is a little easier most of the time. Sometimes, maybe not right now, but usually. But what the hell was that point to? See, this is why I need a co-host, and you guys are the co-hosts. It is very different not doing things live, but that's okay. I kind of want this podcast to be such a raw thing and a raw experience. It's not meant to be overly edited. That was my previous point. And that's always been a thing on the race side. Again, if you've been even to one or two live shows, it's just me running with barely the few cables that I have and trying to use, hilariously, if you're watching this on the video, I'll try and explain it on audio, but my soundproofing is old mattress toppers that I've cut up to just, that was going to go in the skip bin, but I cut it up because I was like, I feel like that could work. And my point being that this is such a raw example of, I just want to get this out there. I love working on this for you guys and trying to be a really entertaining escape Star Wars place for you to come and just have a smile and chuckle at something and watch a bit of something random that you might get to enjoy. And the rawness, I hope, comes across in a genuine way, in a nice way, because I'm doing my best to get the best content for you guys. Not the most polished or edited or just perfectly scripted, but honestly the best by being just my most passion for you guys. So this was a long ramble, but I hope some of it was legible to some sort of coherence of this podcast. I think is going to be something really special. It is a part of the Rayside brand, which is already very chaotic, but I hope genuine and sincere. And this podcast is going to explore that with other people in the creative field that are intelligent, incredible, creative people that you are going to learn from. I have already been learning from, and it's going to be an incredible time to get more connected with Star Wars people, for you, for me, for everyone, to get more connected, because that's what life's about. That's what being a Star Wars fan is about, and that's what being a human is about. It's about connection and more human connection. So I cannot wait to share that with you. I hope this ramble made some sense to you. I appreciate you. Go check out, and while I'm dropping this this episode, the first episode with a guest, not just me talking to the thin air, is out and is probably a lot more interesting. So I appreciate you listening to this. Thank you so much for choosing the Rae side.